All right, Sylvie's trying to call in. Let's go ahead. Third time's the charm. Sylvie is joining me right now, all the way from Canada. Hello.
Hey, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing real good, and thank you for joining me this evening on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's go ahead and begin. How did your wrestling career got started?
Uh, um, when or how? Okay, basically I can answer both. It started a couple of years ago. I started out a little bit late, than like some girls would start it when they're 17. I didn't have a chance because, I'm from Europe and we don't have much wrestling going on. And how it started, I always really wanted to do it since I was a kid. I always been like bodybuilding and I always loved wrestling. Wrestling was like, more like a dream, even bodybuilding somewhat. And a few years ago, I had different things happen in my life and I said to myself, this is the time and I really have to do things what I always wanted to do. And then I had good connections by that time because at that point I was a professional, not bodybuilder because I'm not a real bodybuilder. I'm like a fitness model. I'm more like a figure. It's between a fitness model and a bodybuilder. And then, I just asked around. They set me up with a couple of people for training. And then, I was training for a year. I trained 3 times a week, 3 hours, very intense. Also doing my weight training still, of course. And then I debuted early this year, and since then I'm doing really, really good. So that's the small story of my wrestling career.
Do you
Yeah.
remember? Do you remember the first wrestling match you ever had, and if so, what was
Of
your? Who
of
was your?
course, who can forget that? Oh my God, that was bad. It wasn't that bad actually. I was lucky. The girl I worked, she was, she called the match on me, obviously, step by step, and I was very nervous, and first time to step in the ring in real time with like real people, real crowd, not your school, not the people you have to work your crowd, and I was just, I was extremely nervous, and I was able to follow through everything. I don't think if I you know, missed a spot or did something wrong, but I was very nervous. But, I finished the match and they rebooked me, and so that was all good. But, I remember I was like really, really, really nervous. Yeah, who can forget the first match? Yeah,
So,
that's the story on my first match.
did your bodybuilding background and your fitness modeling? Do you think that definitely had you prepared to be a
I,
wrestler?
mm, I always, to me, wrestling was always like, I wouldn't say like dream, yeah, dream, but more like it was just like, because the way, like, where I grew up, wrestling wasn't very real, right? Like, I always saw it on TV. We never had events. We never had wrestling matches. We never had, my first event I ever been on in Canada in 1998, WWF. At that time, that was Sky Dome. And that was like a huge deal for me because, I was dreaming about that all, like, in my childhood. Like, I always wanted to go. So, um, wrestling was for me more, I was more like, like a fantasy kind of, like I never knew one day I'm going to be able to do it. Even when I was bodybuilding, I wanted to, but I never knew how to get into it. And then, one day I just said, you know what, like, this is what I always wanted to do. Like, I have to move on from my fitness stuff. I'm done with that, and I have to do what I always really wanted to do. And I got into it, and I'm doing it, and I'm really happy about it, and it feels great, and I love to do it.
I hear recently you was part of a wrestling show in New Jersey. I think it was last week. Talk about the wrestling show and what was the experience like?
With Pro Wrestling Syndicate. Yes, I'm on the roster for Pro Wrestling Syndicate and their women promotion, Blow, and it's so awesome. They always have a fully packed card. It's crazy. The matches they really popular in the New York and New Jersey area. They have always full arena. They have crazy matches. You know, the type of people they setting up for matching. You know, the wrestlers. It's just crazy. So they're really popular, and they have a lot of people. I don't know which part you want to talk about, the women promotion or their regular um, wrestling shows, but they both really good. They're really professional. Everything is always so organized, and it's just amazing the way they're working, and I love to go there. I love it. I have a lot of people now I know in the Jersey area and New York area. You know, I gained a lot of friends, and you know, I love working for them, and I'm guessing they love to having me. Was awesome, really good people on the show all the time.
As the year 2012 winds down, do you have a favorite moment that you had, wrestling wise, or just angles, storyline,
2012?
anything particular? Do you have a favorite moment in 2012? A favorite wrestling moment for that matter?
Ooh, that's a good question. You know, the favorite moment never, it didn't came to me yet because, first of all, I enjoy every moment, and I'm very lucky. It's maybe not luck because I work really hard to, you know, to be on these shows. It's not just coming because I was blonde. And I know many people probably think that, but it's not true. And um, I I had a chance to work with so many great talents, like, you know, from WWE and TNA, and I'm keep being on these shows, and it's amazed me, you know, that wow, I can't believe I'm working together with these people I kind of like grew up on, right? And I didn't really had like a favorite moment. Yeah, you know, maybe one I could tell, but my favorite moment is coming in February, and I'm already so happy for that. I will tell you that. Maybe my favorite moment was maybe my favorite few minutes when I was able to manage a match, the Hearts with Jimmy Hart. Me and him was the managers for the Hart family, and that was like wrestling for cure for cancer. It was a charity show for cancer. It was big. It was a 4 hours, and I had the luck actually to be a manager with him. So that was like one of my favorite, I think. Yeah. But my favorite's coming. I really like Awesome Kong. And I don't know if you know, but I was trained, my first 4 months of training, it was from Chantal Taylor-Wade, TNA Knockout champion. And we became really good friends down the road when she was training me, and we still keep in touch, and I'm still getting a lot of advices from her. And she told me so many stories about her and Awesome Kong on the tours, and I'm actually in the same show with her, and I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so proud, and you know, just very happy to be on the same show with her and be in the same ring. It's kind of crazy. Yep.
I'm definitely familiar with Taylor Wilde, one of my favorite women wrestlers. I miss seeing her wrestle. I know she's focusing on other things these days, but she was a very talented wrestler, and the matches
She
she
is
had,
so good.
and the matches she had with Kong, I mean, was phenomenal, and it was just fun to watch. Now, obviously, you living in Canada, Canada has a very well-established history with professional wrestling. From the
You think
Harts,
so?
yeah, from the Harts family,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
with them, yes,
yeah, from
of
the Hart
course.
family to Edge and Christian, Christian Jericho, Trish Stratus. Well, similar to you, came
Oh,
from
you
a
mean like the people, are they coming from Canada? Yes, we have really good training facilities in Canada, that's for sure.
oh yeah, the Hart Dungeon and everything.
Oh,
Uh,
I have been there. I have been there. I was on the tour. I was on the tour there, and I have been there. That's great. You should see it.
what
Yeah,
what was the experience like being inside the dungeon?
it's awesome. It's awesome. I didn't actually had a chance to go up in like the old Hart House, but I was in Teddy's Hart House, and it's exactly the same thing. And it's just crazy. You go in there, it's like probably for like 5 hours, you would just like looking around. Yeah, it's nuts. It's like a whole wrestling history in the house. You know, the whole house, and it's a huge house. Like he has a big house, and him and his wife, and they just awesome people. And yeah, we were watching some wrestling. He has like this huge movie room, like with this like big screen, and it was crazy to watch wrestling from there. And just, I don't know, probably I have some pictures maybe on my Facebook page. I'm not sure. Maybe I posted some. That was awesome. That was when I was on a tour with Tatanka and Big Daddy V. That was crazy. They invited us, and it was really good. I'm very lucky for that, for sure.
You know how wrestlers and entertainers have meanings behind their stage names or nicknames for that matter. What made you name yourself Silvie Silver?
I really like this question, and normally I would get this question every interview, and mm, I always dreamed of to be an entertainer, and since I was like maybe 4, and as I was growing up, obviously watching a lot of like movies and TVs, I was always just playing with it, and I kind of like wanted to use Silver. Sylvie is my real name. My real name is Sylvia, not Sylvie. Sylvia. And then I really liked Silverstone because, don't ask me from where, I just did. But, then later on, Alicia Silverstone came, and I'm like, oh my God, she's kind of like took it away from me, right? But I never knew I'm going to have like like a entertainer name, whatever. And then, when actually I started wrestling and I said, oh my God, I can't believe, like the name I was like playing with for all of these years, it's actually going to become like true, right? And then instead of Silverstone, because it's too long for wrestling, I think your name has to be really catchy. And just because everybody started to call me Sylvie instead of Sylvia, I kept the Sylvie, and then I just shortened the Silverstone to Silver. And then I just realized, oh my God, I just got a really good name, Silvie Silver. So that's how the name is.
You mentioned that you're gonna be part of a show in February. Do you have any other shows that you would like to promote that you're gonna be a part of?
I'm debuting in Florida this Saturday with Ring Warriors in Hollywood, and I'm going to work. This is actually going to be like a really, really good tag team match. I'm tagging up with Melissa Coates. She's like, I don't know, she's like Jack. She's a really big girl. And I'm tagging up with her versing Stu Young and Amazona. And that's very exciting for me because to me it's a big deal to debuting in Florida because it's kind of like the bed of wrestling, almost like. And yeah, if anybody hear this, like, and if they're in the area, that would be nice if they come out and support. And this year, I had something else, was a really, really good card. I think I was booked with Brooke Tessmaker from TNA for a tag match, but it may just not happening because there is some sickness in the family of the promoter, and it's like at this point it's 50-50. That was gonna be on the 22nd in West Virginia with American Pro Wrestling Alliance, and but that's like a 50-50. And then I'm going to stop maybe for a week or two. I wanted to stop for a month because I wanted to go in Mexico for some training. But I'm getting like really good bookings, so probably I'm just going to go with that. And yes, I normally I'm updating my status of my bookings on my website, SilvieSilver.com, a week or two before, a week before my shows. Normally I promote it on my Facebook page or Twitter or on the website, SilvieSilver.com. But good things are coming up for me next year for sure. It's very exciting.
For those who are just tuning in, you are listening to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio right here on ITMIRadio.com. Talk channel number 2. I'm joined for my second guest of the evening, all the way from Canada, Silvie Silver. You can check her website out, follow her on Twitter, check her out on Facebook. Be on the lookout for her in 2013. She's got a bright future, and you have a very nice accent, by the way. I like it.
Thank you so much. Sometimes I'm afraid, like when I'm going to the U.S. that people are not going to understand me, but they do.
Hey,
So
I understand every single word you just said. Just all
where are you exactly located?
I live in Kentucky.
Yeah, I was just down there. I was in Mississippi.
Yeah, I was born in Mississippi, but now I live in Kentucky. I live in Kentucky.
Yeah, I had a good match in Mississippi. I loved it. Nice people.
And for my last question, I want to ask you is, what would your advice be to anyone out there that wants to become a wrestler? What would your advice be?
My advice is that, to go for it, go and be physically fit, go work out, go work on your cardio, which is a little bit different to have your cardio in the ring than, like go on a cardio machine. It's two different things. Make sure that you're maintaining your fitness so you can do this. Of course, you have to train hard, and it depends, how people are getting it, because I think once you get the psychology of wrestling, then it's a lot easier than, you're just doing the moves and you don't know what's going on. But just go for it, go train, go pick a good school. Have to be humble. I promise that much, because I took the hard way of learning. And, just listen to the people who they longer in the business than you are, and just go for it, and don't let anybody tell you differently. Go for it, be who you are, don't pretend, because pretending is never working. Just be in the ring who you really are, who you really want to be in the ring, because that's the only way not to losing yourself or to lose, and that would be my advice pretty much. Just, be who you are and go for it, and don't let other people tell you differently, because they will, I promise.
Well said, and I want to say thank you for being on the show. Thank you for joining me this evening. Best of success goes out to you in 2013 going forward. And again, thank you for being on, and you have a good night. You have a good evening.
Thank you so much for having me, and have a good night.
You too.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Silvie Silver joining me here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.